Welcome back to a Yorkshire Lad Talks Football and welcome to another video. In this video I'm reviewing the Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0 match in the Premier League yesterday. It was quite a boring game. There wasn't loads to talk about, but I feel it's an opportunity missed for Chelsea because they could have closed the gap between the two sides to 3 points. But instead the game just played out to a 0-0 boring draw, and both sides will feel they could have done a lot more. I think United just turned up playing the way we'd probably assumed they'd play, which is rigid at the back and being able to counter-attack. As for Chelsea, they just lacked clinicalness and decisiveness in the final third, and it's becoming quite an issue at the minute with Chelsea. We're defensively solid, but brilliant at the back, but can't break teams down. Well, we can break them down, but we're just not ruthless in that final third and that final decision in the final third. In a game that lacked so much, I think it was VAR controversy that was probably the key talking point in the game. Man United probably felt they should have had a penalty just before half-time. Hudson-Odoi was alleged to have handballed the ball in the area, but I felt it was a bit soft. It was a pretty nothing incident, but to be fair, if I was a United fan, I'd have wanted the penalty, but as a Chelsea fan, I'd have been furious if it was given. It was a bit of a nothing moment. It just bounced up and hit his hand, and Greenwood was in close quarters to Hudson-Odoi, so I don't think he could have done much to get his hand out of the way. So yeah, I think it'd have been very harsh on Chelsea. But as I've said, if I was a United fan, I'd probably be slightly annoyed that it wasn't given. So yeah, let's go into the Chelsea lineup that we put out, and it was Mendy in net. It was similar to what I actually said it would be, apart from a couple of changes, but it was Mendy in net, Hudson-Odoi wing back, 3 centre backs, Azpilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger. Chilwell started wing back ahead of Alonso, and then in midfield it was Kovacic and Kante replacing Jorginho, and then the front three were Mason Mount, Hakim Ziyech and Olivier Giroud. And Hakim Ziyech, he came in for Timo Werner. Timo Werner got the rest, and Tuchel said that he's resting him for the game against Liverpool, but Ziyech had the opportunity to deliver and show what he can do on this stage, and he failed. It was a big opportunity for him. He's worked his way into the side for this game, and he could have probably been subbed off at half-time. It was a really poor performance, and that's one of my key talking points. Ziyech, yeah, as I've said, he was really poor. He gave the ball away on like 9 occasions in the first half. He was slowing our attacks down, slowing momentum down in our attacks. And it just wasn't his day. It didn't go well for him. And he's probably missed a great opportunity there to stake a claim in the side. But he has to live and learn, move on from this and show what he can do in training and future games, because he's missed a great opportunity. But that's my first key talking point, of 5 reasons why the game finished 0-0. Ziyech didn't deliver. That's one of them. And my second one is Chelsea. I reckon they were tired from the Atletico Madrid game. It's a lot of travelling. Travelled to Romania. They put their heart and soul into that game on Tuesday night against Atletico Madrid. It will have drained them that game because they were playing against a great opposition. You have to be mentally there for the full game. Obviously, you have to fly there, fly back. It's a lot of travelling. And coming into another big game like Man United, I think they just could have been mentally drained and tired from all this travelling, and the fact they had to go through 90 minutes of 100% on it, committed football. So yeah, that's one reason. As for United, I just think they turned up with a similar game plan as they usually do in the Big 6 games, where they probably just look to not lose rather than going to win the game. I don't think United came to win that game. They sat behind the ball, didn't have loads of possession, and then obviously they looked to hit you on the counter-attack with Rashford, usually Martial, but this time it was Dan James and Mason Greenwood and Bruno Fernandes feeding in the ball. So yeah, I think United turned up with no intent of winning really, and then Chelsea maybe just were tired from the other night and we lacked that ruthlessness in attack. That's my second point. My third talking point is about Andreas Christensen and Antonio Rudiger. The two have been brilliant since coming back into the side under Tuchel. And as for Christensen, I think he was outstanding again. The Danish Maldini, as we call him. He's coming to the side after Thiago Silva's injury, and he's done a great job. He's performing probably better than expected, and is exceeding performances that we probably haven't seen before from him. The worry was about Christensen is that he's probably not physical enough for the Premier League, but he's proving all them doubters wrong, because he's been solid. He's been absolutely solid. He's commanding as well. He's strong. He's quick. He's good at winning the ball. He's good in the air. So Christensen's revelation has been brilliant to see. And if Thiago Silva does, when Thiago Silva does come back, it's going to be interesting to see who he drops, because on current form, I don't think you can drop Christensen. But it's who you drop out of Rudiger and Azpilicueta, and I'd say it'd probably be Rudiger, although he's been playing really well. But Azpilicueta is the captain, and Tuchel's come out and talked about how important it is to have a captain in your side. So yeah, Christensen's been brilliant, flawless again, and I think he was key to us keeping the clean sheet yesterday. So yeah, that's my third point. My fourth point is, although I've said we're defensively solid, we do lack that real ruthlessness in attack, and it's becoming a slight issue at the minute. We're getting into really good positions, and it's the final ball or the final decision that's letting us down. We get into some nice areas, we do some lovely passages of play, and then it's just, when we get to the final third, it's just that final ball, it kills us every time. And then we have the chances yesterday. Hakim Ziyech in the second half, De Gea, great save, but he probably has to bury that. It's on his stronger left foot, gets a clear shot at it. Great position as well. It was perfect for him moving onto it. He was running onto the ball on his left foot, about 12 yards out, and De Gea saved it. But these are the moments where we need to be clinical in these big games. So Ziyech probably should have scored. I thought Giroud could have got onto that Callum Hudson-Odoi cross. What a cross that was. It was Beckham-esque. He was inches away from it. And it's these small margins that tell in these big games, because if you do get there, if Giroud connects with that, it's a goal. And that would have given us a huge 3 points. As I've said, we're just missing this clinical and ruthless edge in the final third, and I feel it's something we need to stamp out of our game and really improve on, because we've got some huge games coming up in the run-up. We've got Liverpool next, Everton at home, and Leeds away, and Atletico Madrid. And these are 4 big games, huge games for our season. So I think we need to improve on this quickly so we can get that clinical edge and see these games through and help us to get top 4, because that's the goal now for the rest of the season. So yeah, that's my fourth point, that I just don't think we have the clinical edge in the final third. My fifth point is how the big 6 matches never seem to deliver. I think the clubs that are playing these games, they actually go into the game thinking, I don't want to lose, we don't want to lose, rather than let's go out there and win and show what we can do. Especially Man United, they've come into this game thinking, we don't want to lose, we're not actually that arsed about winning. They have drawn 0-0 5 times out of the last 7 matches against top 6 sides. And it just shows you, Ollie clearly sets up with a no-lose mentality. They've not won in the last 7 against big 6 opposition. And yeah, it's obvious. They come with a setup to just defend and then hit on the counter-attack. And they don't want to control the ball, they don't want to control the possession. And it's probably, these big 6 matches are just don't deliver when you would like them to. And you have all the big hype up around the build-up and stuff, and they just don't deliver because teams just come up with a no-lose mentality. Especially United, they've, as I've said, they're 0-0 specialists against big 6 sides. And yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just, the teams are just scared to overcommit and play really thrilling attacking football in these big games. As I've said, they're probably more worried about conceding than actually scoring a goal. So yeah, that's my fifth and final point about 5 reasons why Chelsea and Man United drew 0-0 yesterday. It was a boring game, as I've said. Not a right lot of talking points. The VAR probably been the biggest controversy in the game. So yeah, 0-0. What can we do? We're going to have to move on. We've got a big run of fixtures coming up, Chelsea. So let's move on, forget about this, and attack the next 4 games with good mentality. So yeah, if you like the video, please leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, please could you subscribe? It really helps me out. And thank you. Up the Chelsea.